Okay, guys. So, hi, good morning. How are you? As I said before, my name is Oliver. I think I know you, most of you probably, or most of them. I don't know. So, nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to be here. As I told you before as well, we're gonna learn a new vocabulary regarding the environment. All right, what's happening outside? The environment, habitats, and everything. So, we're gonna have fun. But first, I need you to grab a piece of paper. Carol, Gabby, Gerardo, Danny, can you please grab a piece of paper? Can you please grab a piece of paper? Yeah, you got your paper? All right. If you already got your paper, all right, if you already get your paper, let me see. You are gonna do something. You are going to draw a square, well, not a square, but a rectangular, all right, a big one, a rectangular, right, like a big one, okay, like this, okay. First, you're gonna draw a rectangular like this, okay, a big one like this one, right? Try to do that first, all right? Try to do that first. So first, you're gonna draw a rectangular on a piece of paper. All right. The next step is actually pretty easy. You're going to divide or split up 6 columns in the rectangular. 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Okay, if you already got the columns and the rectangular and everything, the next step is actually more simple. You're going to divide 1, 2, 3 lines horizontally. Horizontally, all right? 3 lines horizontally, right? You get me, Danny?
It's 3 lines, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
3 lines horizontal. Yeah,
Yeah. Like one, two, three. Okay. So for example, one.
exactly. 2 and 3.
Okay.
All right. So this is gonna be like a competition, guys. You are going to compete with each other, right? So this is a competition, right? So there is just gonna be one winner here, right? So let's see who's gonna be the winner. So you have played this before, probably. You might have played this before. It's like stop my hand in Spanish or something like that. In English, we call it as categories. So this is something like this. First, you're going to give each column a name, a title, all right? The first title is actually word, all right? Word or letter, right? The first title is letter. The second is animals. The third one is food. The fourth one is place. The fifth one is people. And the last one is verbs, all right? Verbs.
Can you repeat, please, the instructions, Mister?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Carlita. So you're gonna draw a square, all right, like a rectangular, right? And then you're going to divide it into 6 columns. 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you have already divided those 6 columns, then you're gonna divide it into 3 lines horizontally. So 6 columns and then 3 lines horizontally. All right. And then, Carla, you're gonna give each column a name. The first one, the first title of the column, of course, is letter. The second, animals. The third, food. Fourth, places. Fifth, people. And the last one, verbs. All right, guys? So it would be something like this. Like this, guys. If you look at this, it has to be like that. It has to be similar. You have it? You have like the same or not? Danny, do you have the same?
Yes, I have the same.
All right,
It's
cool.
letter, animals, foods, places, people, verbs. Right.
Exactly. All right, cool. So now, guys, I'm gonna give you 1 minute. Okay. So I give you the letter or the word, and then you have 1 minute to fill them out. to fill all of the columns. All right, you just have 1 minute. And the first person who actually has everything has to tell me, teacher, time's up, or I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready, much better. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, that basically means that you have finished. So you have to tell me, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, so you have 1 minute. So let's start. The first word is gonna be letter R. Letter R. All right, let's do it. You have 1 minute. Letter R. Letter R.
Teacher, I have a question. What kind of word is people?
It could
What I need to
be
write
a
in here?
famous person. It could be a famous person.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, let's do it, guys. If you finish, I'm ready. You tell me, I'm ready. All right, guys, let's do it. You still have time.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, okay, good. And time's up.
I'm
1
ready.
minute. Oh, good, good. So three people, right? Three people. The first one, if I remember, was Gerardo. So Gerardo, what did you get? Tell me.
With R in the box of animal, I put roach, cucaracha, roach,
All right.
food, rice, places, river, people, Robert Pattinson, bear, ring.
Ring. Nice. It's excellent. Well done. What about the second person? I don't remember. Who was the second person? Gabby, I think.
Okay. Letter R, animal rat. For the rice, place Roma. People Radcliffe. Verb run.
Great. And the last one, Carla, I think.
Leather, okay. Animal rhino, food rice, place Roma, people Rihanna, birds wreath.
Oh, nice. Good, good, guys. Good, guys. All right, now let's go to the other letter. So maybe your classmates, your other classmates can also make it, right? So let's see. The next letter, guys, be careful, is gonna be letter M. Letter M. M. All right, let's do it. Letter M.
There are 3 spaces, only 3 letters we're going to do.
Yeah, just 3 letters.
Okay.
Letter M this time. Do it, Danny. You can do it. Letter M, 1 minute.
Can you repeat the letter, please?
Yeah, sure. Letter M. Letter M.
Thank you.
I'm ready.
All right, first one.
I'm ready.
Second. And the last one, guys. Last place.
I'm ready.
Third place. Okay, time's up. All right, let's see. Okay. So let's go with the first person. So Gabby, tell me.
Okay, letter M, animal monkey. For the mushrooms, place Manta. People Michael. Verb move.
All right, good. All right, thank you. Now, Carol, what about you? What do you have?
In animals, mice, food, mango, place, machala, people, Michael Jackson, verbs, make.
Great. And the last one, let's see, Danny.
Okay. One monkey, animals monkey, food macaroni and cheese, places Machu Picchu, people Mariana, verbs make.
Great. Thank you, guys. Great. I mean, you got this. You got this. You got this game. You're pretty good at this. Now, the last word, and I highly recommend you to do your best because this is gonna be the last time, right? So at this time we can see the winner, right? So let's see. The very last word is gonna be a little bit tough, right? It's gonna be a little bit hard. So the last word is gonna be letter Q, right? Letter Q, right? Q,
Q.
yeah. So 1 minute. All right, so 5 seconds. 1, 3, 5. Time's up.
Can-
All right, time's up. Yeah. So was it hard? Was it hard this time? I guess so, right? Because Q is a little bit complicated, right? Danny, what did you have? What do you have?
Okay, I have Q. I don't have animals. I have food, quesadillas,
All
places,
right.
Quito, people, nothing, and verbs, nothing.
Okay. What about you, Gerardo?
Okay, in animal, I put quail, it's a bird. In food, I put quesadilla. In
All right.
places, Quito. People, I don't have in people. Verbs, quit. So, we
Like quit, you know.
quit, quit.
Oh, all right, quit. Nice. And Carol, what about you? What do you have?
In animals, I have nothing. In food, I have quesadilla. Place, Quito. People, I have the name Quill. And in verbs, quit.
Great. And Carla, what do you have?
Okay, in animal, nothing. Food, quinoa. Place, Quito. People, nothing. And birds, whoever, or quit.
All right, good. And Gabby, what about you?
Okay, animal I can find, food quesadilla, praise Quito, people queen, and bear quick.
Great. Well done, guys. Well done, guys. So this last word or letter was a little bit more complicated, right? I know, don't worry. But I just want to congratulate you because you did your best and you did well, all right? So all of you guys, all of you are the winners, all right? All of you are the winners and all of you win this game, all right? So thank you so much. Now let's go to the other part. For this part, I highly recommend you to grab up like a piece of paper or just a notebook, all right? Because you're gonna need it, right? Because you're gonna make some notes. So let's see. We're gonna talk about the environment, all right? As I said before. So first, I have some questions for you, all right? Random questions. So tell me, Carol. I have a question for you, Carol Perez. Tell me. Let me think. Okay, let's see. Okay, tell me, Carol. What are the biggest problems that we are facing right now? What are the biggest problems facing our environment? Can you think of just one?
Okay, I think pollution is one of the biggest problems right now.
All right, thank you. Danny, what would you do to save our environment? Tell me, what would you do to save our environment?
Okay, to save our environment, I will, people will need to be conscious about not throwing garbage in the streets. And also also another thing could be that we need to save, to use like this recycle campaign. And also I think that how do you say alcalde?
Like the council, the council, the
Okay,
council of the city.
the council of the city has to like make people more self-conscious about the taking care of the environment, like the recycle campaign, no throwing garbage, and make this conscious with people that are young generations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I agree with you. I see where your point comes from. Now, tell me, Gabby, the same question just for you, the last one. Tell me, what can you think of a problem that you have seen that is happening right now in terms of the environment?
Yes, I believe that the big problem is the pollution in our environment, because nowadays the people don't be don't be don't be conscious about the different factors that determine our life in this world. For example, when I talk about recycle, reduce, and reuse, I think that if all people to keep in our heads this, we can to conserve the environment in a best way. If we thinking about heavy traffic, for example, I think that if the best form is to travel by bus, if I do it alone, but sometimes we prefer to drive a car alone, and it and in this way we waste the resources, for example the petrol. And also, if the people don't reduce the use of the energy, this have a lot of consequences about the environment, I think that.
All right, I appreciate it. Great. Your point is actually outstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, guys, we're gonna get started. All right, guys, so be ready. Please make your notes regarding this topic or regarding the words that we are gonna see or tackle. Because after this class, I'm gonna ask you some random questions regarding those. So you'll need them. Okay, now let's start with this phrase. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Alexandra K. Trenford. So now let's go here. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. All right, guys. So Danny, I want you to look at these two pictures, and I want you to try to distinguish one difference between the first one and the second one.
Okay.
What's different?
Okay, I think that the difference is that trees give you oxygen in a planet. And right now we're building apartments and buildings, so we're losing the oxygen we have in our planet.
All right. Okay, good. All right. Now, guys, what does bio means? What does bio means? Bio means life. All right, guys. When you see the term bio, bio means life. All right. So we have degradable life, probably hypothetically, and we have non-biodegradable. So biodegradable, probably particles or organisms. What's that, guys? What's that? Well, biodegradable, now biodegradable or to degrade means like to break down into smaller parts that can be reabsorbed by the nature. So for example, a fruit, an apple. If you're like walking on the street and you have an apple, all right, and you're eating an apple and you have finished eating that apple, and then you just throw it up on the ground, it's not a problem, right? Because by the time it will decay by itself, right? The earth and everything surrounded will just absorb it naturally. So it's not a big deal, right? So that's actually biodegradable. It's just something that you can basically throw out in the garbage and naturally will somehow recycle by herself, like the nature will recycle that by herself, right? Into usable nutrients again, useful nutrients again. All right. Now, what about non-biodegradable? So, for example, things like plastic, metal, or anything that's not organic is non-biodegradable. All right, is non-biodegradable. So metal, plastic, things that are not organic, those things are biodegradable. So it basically means that it can't break down and it can be reused by the nature. It can be reused, right? Thank you. Now let's go here. Now, Gerardo, I've got a question for you. If you look at this picture, you have habitat. What's a habitat for you? What's a habitat? Can you guess?
Okay, habitat is the environment where the species lives. All species. Wait.
All of the species live, right? Okay, thank you. All right, now, Carol, question for you. Do you consider that there is only one unique habitat or there are different types of habitats?
I think there are different types of habitats depending on the weather and which species live there.
Great, exactly, guys, because desert habitat, forest habitat, right? Sea habitat, probably there are lots of habitats. So there is not only one, guys. There are some types of habitats. Thank you. Now let's see. So habitat, a synonym that you will need as habitat would be environment, right? So the environment, the surroundings where you are, right? Where animals, plants, or people are, or inhabitants. Now, who are inhabitants or what are inhabitants? Well, inhabitants, guys, are actually animals or people who actually live inside of the habitat. So those are inhabitants. So instead of saying people, animals, plants, we can say that. But if we want to refer something more like, I don't know, like related to the environment, we can say inhabitants. It's a good term and it's advanced, all right? Inhabitants. Now, the food chain. I mean, this is something that we learned when we were in high school, right? The food chain. So Gerardo, can you please tell me what's at the top of the food chain?
Food chain is okay. For example, when an animal eats other animal, that's a food chain. The human can eat animals like chicken, like cows, like pigs. So it's a chain cadena, no? Chain.
Yeah.
Chain. Cadena alimenticia. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I got you. You're correct, okay. Actually, in this part. Yeah, exactly. So at the top of the food chain, we have humans, right? Because nobody and like anything can eat us, right? We are like at the top. We're the kings here, right? So humans, like human beings. After that, like below, what's below ourselves, guys? What's below humans? What's below humans? Danny, any idea?
Below humans. Could be animals.
Animals, exactly. So lion, right? The lion, right? The lion, mammals, right? Animals are below ourselves, are humans, right? And then below we have plants, right? The last ones, plants, the food chain, right? Thank you. Now let's go here. You know, there's a lot of contamination around us, but most of the time we say contamination, 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 right? And it's like a very, very random word. Okay, but what else can we use when we're writing an article, when we're writing an essay, when we want to maybe speak more properly? English properly, you know? So contamination, pollution, pollution, nice. And smog, all right, smog. What's smog? So if you see at this part, like this clouds probably, or like these types of gases, those things are smog, right? Smog. Okay, that's smog, right? So it's actually the contamination that creates by itself, and it's like a vapor, like something as gas, like contaminated gas. So that's smog, right? So you have contamination, pollution, and smog, right? So you have 3 words that you can alternate when you're writing an essay probably, and it's gonna help you a lot. Now let's see, we can also recognize what are fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. So guys, what are fossil fuels? So fossil fuels are actually things that contaminate our city, our country, or our environment somehow. For example, oil, for example, gas, and for example, coal carbon, all right, coal carbon. Now, maybe you're asking yourselves, what's coal? Well, it's actually the same as carbon, but it's just a typo, right? But it's the same, coal carbon. It's just a way to say it, but it's the same, carbon, right? So oil, gas, and coal carbon. Those are fossil fuels, and those are pollutants. Guys, what are pollutants? Pollutants are the things that contaminate our environment. So instead of saying this, like this, the things that contaminate our environment, we can say the pollutants, right? So that's why we have the pollutants that cause pollution in this world, all right? Pollutants cause the pollution in this world. And now we have a landfill. Gabby Danoso, if you look at this picture, we have a landfill. So what do you consider a landfill can be?
Okay,
If
what
you
is
look
the
at it.
meaning? Landfill? Landfill? I don't understand landfill.
Landfill.
Landfill. Okay. Garbage.
Garbage. All right, good. Exactly. So a
Okay.
landfill, guys, is actually a place where we just put the like the garbage and like everything that contaminates our environment there. We put everything there. Everything like pollution and everything goes there. Plastic, non-biodegradable things, you know, remember the term non-biodegradable goes here, right? Things that we don't need, a landfill. And finally, guys, essential verbs that you probably might need in for the future, that you might probably need in for the future, are harm, endanger, and threaten. So what do these verbs mean? Affect. So for example, let me see, guys, cars can harm our environment. So it basically means that cars can affect our environment, right? Let's just correct this part. Okay, good. Now, endanger. For example, let's see. Non-biodegradable, degradable products can threaten our surroundings. All right, let's correct this part. No, this is not correct. It is like this. Okay, and I don't know what's happening here, but it's like this. Okay, non-biodegradable products can threaten our surroundings. Right? So those are examples. So what does it mean? That non-biodegradable products can affect our surroundings, or cars can affect our environment. All right, so affect, harm, endanger, and threaten. Right? Thank you. And well, remember, we can see here the fossil fuels that we just saw a few minutes ago. Remember, oil, gas, coal, carbon, all right? We can see also the contamination, the pollution, the smog here, remember? And okay, the food chain that we already saw, right? Okay, guys, so thank you so much. That was like some basic vocabulary, advanced though. If you wanted to choose like write an article or an essay probably for the future, you can use these words. So thank you so much. Now, don't worry. This is not gonna be the last part of the class. We need more things. So what are we gonna do next? I'm sending you a link here on this chat, all right? It's a Padlet link, and you will have to choose 2 words that we learned today, and you're gonna use two sentences. All right, so you're gonna write two sentences using two words that you want, but these words have to be some words that we analyzed previously. All right, so let me send you the link. Okay, it's on the chat. Open the link, go there, and start writing your two sentences. All right, and if the class closes, you have to go back, come back, sorry. You have to come back. You have to rejoin me, all right? I'm going to create another session, so don't worry. You have to rejoin me, right? It's not a problem, okay? So if the class finishes, you come back. If the class finishes, guys, come back as soon as possible, all right? Come back as soon as possible. Rejoin me.
Screen.
All right, so, oh, the purple one. Okay, so pollution can harm our environment. Exactly. Non-biodegradable products can threaten our surroundings. Great. What about you, Carol? Let's do it. Let's analyze Gerardo's sentence. Factories and vehicles produces smoke and gases who pollutes the environment. Okay, Gerardo, just here. It would be much better if you say something like factories and vehicles produce, all right? Because we're talking about two things, all right? So we don't use produces, right? We're not talking about just one, we're talking about two things. So factories and vehicles produce, all right, smoke and gases that we use who when we're talking about people, all right?
Okay,
Remember that.
right.
That
Okay,
thing,
teacher.
so that pollutes the environment. All right, and it would be like this. We just add the capital letter probably, and it would be factories and vehicles produce smoke and gases that pollute the environment. Nice, great, okay. All right, guys, it's good. Maybe another one, another sentence. Okay, yeah, the last one, let's see. Pollution is affecting many animals lower down the food chain. Okay, the garbage is dumped on landfill sites. Dumped in, I guess. Dumped in? You wanted to say like something like, you want to say something like dumped in? Who wrote this? Who wrote this sentence, guys? Who wrote this sentence? Who wrote this sentence, guys? Who wrote it? Let's see. Danny, did you write this?
No.
No. Carol, what about you? Did you write this?
No.
Gerardo, did you write this? All right. Okay, we don't know. It's okay. It's good. It's good. Maybe it would be better if you say dumped in landfill sites. And here animals, because you're talking about many animals. You cannot say many animal. No, because many animals like 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. All right. So yeah, good. It's good. It's good. Okay, guys. Now let's see. Great. I've seen your sentences, and I can say that they're correct. All right. You have to just correct some mistakes, of course, but it's just fine. All right. It's not a problem. Now let's go back here to the presentation, and like we can just proceed to the next part. All right. So let me see. Now that you have already written your sentences, it's time to go to the evaluation. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna like pick up just randomly people here, and I'm gonna ask you some random questions. All right. So for instance, Danny, the first question is gonna be for you. All right. So the first question is gonna be for you. Tell me, what is the difference between biodegradable and non-biodegradable?
Okay, the difference is that biodegradable. It's like materials from the environment. Can be, how do you say, like that can be easily recycled, and they're non-biodegradable means that the materials of the environment, the products, cannot eliminate easily from the environment.
All right, flawless, outstanding, good answer. Thank you. Carol, what's a habitat?
Habitat is way to call people, animals, and plants that live in a place.
Excellent, well done. Gerard, the next question is gonna be for you, and I want you to tell me who are inhabitants, or what are inhabitants?
Okay, what are inhabitants? The things that I can find in habitats.
Exactly.
Okay. In habitats, we can find let me see. We can
What
find,
can we find in a forest?
mountains, rivers,
Mountains.
Forest.
But what's inside of it? What's inside? What's inside?
Okay, inside the forest, we can find animals like birds, like how do you say bichos? Bugs?
Yeah, bugs. Yeah,
like bugs, snakes,
animals, right?
Animals in
Plants.
general, animals.
So those are inhabitants. Now, just one more question for you, Gerard. Are people or human beings considered as inhabitants?
Good question. I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
The city where we live, it's a habitat, because we are with other persons. So we, how do you say, compartir? We
share.
We share and space, espacio, and space.
Space, like yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's possible the humans can stay in a habitat.
Exactly. Thank you, Gerard. Yeah. In fact, like human beings, people, citizens can be considered as just inhabitants, as well as animals, plants, insects, and so on. All right. So all of the things that we can just find out inside of an environment, or a habitat in this case, can be or may be considered as inhabitants. Thank you, guys. Now, the last question, or one of the last questions, let me see, Gabby. This question is gonna be for you. All right. So tell me, Gabby, are smog and pollution the same thing? Are smog and pollution the same thing, or they're different?
Okay, I think that is the same words, the same meaning, because smog is about gases and pollution contain smoke, and also those factors are about contamination.
Great. Well done. Thank you. Great. And let's see the last question. This is the very, very last question, and this is for Carol. All right, Carol, tell me, what is a landfill? Do you remember what's a landfill?
It's a place where people throw any kind of non-biodegradable products. It is a place with a lot of garbage.
Great, exactly. So we just like people put them all together, like the garbage and everything that contaminates somehow this country or this world or this earth. So yeah, those places may be considered as landfills. Good, good guys. So guys, I think that you understood everything. I mean, most of it, right? Did you like the lesson? Did you like the class? Yes. Was it useful? Wasn't it?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, teacher. I
was a
think
great
it was
class.
like a nice class you did for us. The only thing is that I would like to have like some class that they teach us how, like, for example, doing interview, doing
Oh.
when you are going to be hired in a job, for example. And also another thing that is very important is I would like to know about, for example, things we can use in our career. For example, I am a teacher, so maybe it's like vocabulary. It's very important when you are a teacher and you're teaching English to children. So that will be, I know you are using this vocabulary because it's part of learning like the writing skills and grammar skills that the premium level needs to apply for the test.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's make this a promise. All right. I promise you that I'm going to create another class just for free, just for you. All right. And it's going to be about jobs. All right. It's going to be like how to like succeed when it comes to having an interview with someone important. All right. Okay.
Yes.
Internationally.
Yes, it's
right.
very important.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I tell your teacher, maybe next class, I don't know, and you can come here and we can have this set of class. 1 hour, right? 1 hour. It's nothing. Okay.
We have 1 hour every class with you.
No. That's gonna be impossible
No?
though. But we can arrange a day and we can have that class. And we can have that class.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
good, cool.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can use this vocab, like English vocabulary, for your essays, for your articles, when you're writing, when you're expressing ideas. If someone asks you something related to the environment, you know vocabulary, right? You know landfill, biodegradable, non-biodegradable, smog, pollutants, pollution, contamination, habitat, inhabitants, all right? Fossil fuels. So you already know some words that can be useful for the future for your language learning process. All right. So outstanding, guys. Thank you so much. I just can say I appreciate it so much. And well, that will be all, right? It was a pleasure to just like give you this class, and I see you soon. All right. So
Okay.
bye-bye and thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. See you. Take care.
Thank you, teacher. I appreciate your help. I think that is the best way to encourage.
Yeah, don't worry. It's a pleasure.
Bye.
It's a pleasure.
Yes,
Don't worry.
it's a
nothing.
clear class about use of English. It's important for B2 level. Thank you.
Yeah,
teacher.
you need it. And don't worry, I want to help you. I want to help you out. So well, it's good to know that it helps you somehow, right? So thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.
Take care. See you soon. All right, let's stop this class.